Beginning with fullbacks, Mark Mulligan is the Australian, and Steve Lay is back for Halifax, the 5th player to wear Steve Hanson's jersey this season. Wings sees old campaigner Des Drummond still a threat for Town. It's John Bentley named in the Great Britain squad for the World Sevens yesterday. Kevin Pape, after years in the lower division, now gets a big league chance at 33. Mark Preston, unusually for him, he's not scored since November. Centre Paul Burns scored Workington's first try in the big league, and with 212 points, he's the leading scorer in the game. It's John Schuster. Vince Fawcett signed from Leeds in the summer, and 21-year-old Richard Smith is enjoying his best run in the first team. Standoff Kevin Ellis on loan from Warrington until the end of the season, and Michael Hagan, the only survivor from Halifax's last win in Division 1 here. That was 10 years ago. Ellis is one of the newcomers this season, and he believes the Town can get off the bottom.
There's a lot of team spirit. We've run the top 4 clubs, very close, Leeds, Wigan, and, as I said, it's a great atmosphere, and I'm sure that we'll, come the end of the season, we'll be around the mid-table mark.
But you've really got to start picking up the points now.
Oh, definitely so. It's all right losing by 3 or 4, but, we're not getting the valuable points, and, come Friday night, we're going to hopefully have a big win.
Scrum half, Dean Marwood will kick the goals for Town. Wayne Parker joined Halifax during the summer from Hull KR. Up front, there's no James Pickering, so it's Australian Kyle White for Town and Great Britain's Carl Harrison, the Halifax skipper. Roland Phillips, like Kevin Ellis, is here to the end of season on loan from Warrington, and John Fieldhouse. Halifax is his 5th big league club. The hooker Phil McKenzie, a champion twice in his witness days, and an outstanding youngster who's followed coach Steve Sims from Lee, it's Paul Rowley. Second row, Colin Armstrong, Town's club skipper, and Welsh international Paul Moriarty was injured in training last night, so Michael Jackson steps in. Stephen Holgate has been the discovery of their year in Cumbria. Simon Baldwin is another who followed Sims from Lee. The loose forwards, New Zealander Brad Heppy and Gary Devorty, playing as well as ever, but beaten at Leeds last time out.
I thought we played pretty well at Leeds in the second half, but the score didn't reflect the game, I thought, even though they won quite convincingly. We just got to pick ourselves up and bounce back, really. We know what we've got to do, and we've got to get up there with the contenders in the league.
Workington have lost just one of the last 5 at home at Derwent Park, so they're obviously a tough side to beat on their own ground, aren't they?
Oh, definitely. I mean, it's always hard to go up there anyway, and with the conditions and everything. But they've got a decent side on paper. Most of them have played in top flight rugby, and it's just an interesting situation what they've been. Can't get the right players on the field at the moment, and we're looking forward to a really hard game.
The coaches and 2 Aussies go head-to-head tonight, Peter Walsh and Steve Sims. Points vital for these 2 sides, and Phil McKenzie leads out Workington. Bottom of the table, just 3 wins and a draw from 16 games, but encouraged by a run which has seen them lose just 1 of the last 5 in League and Cup here at Derwent Park. McKenzie, a champion twice with Widnes. He knows what the big league is all about. And Halifax emerge in their change strip tonight, 4th in the table, but Christmas was none too kind. A 16-all home draw with Bradford Northern, and then they were hammered 42-14 at Leeds. Paul Moriarty, the Welsh international, sitting alongside his coach Steve Sims, and Moriarty, well, his loss will be a big blow to Halifax, but at least they have a man in the shape of Michael Jackson, who's a Great Britain international. And Jackson, who has really been hit by injuries, makes only his 2nd full appearance of the season. And since he's been here for 2 years, he has only managed 6 consecutive appearances in his career at Thrum Hall. That's the best run he's ever had. Well, he's on 2 as a result of Moriarty's injury. The Workington line-up then. They have Mulligan at full-back, Drummond, Burns, Fawcett, Pape, Ellis and Marwood. Plenty of experience in this side. And up front, the Australian Kyle White, McKenzie, Phillips, Armstrong, Holgate and Heppy. The substitutes, Gary Schubert and Lee Chilton. Kevin Ellis, Welsh international, trying to resurrect his big league career up here in Cumbria, released by Warrington until the end of the season, along with Roland Phillips. Here's the Halifax side: Lay, Bentley, Schuster, Smith, Preston, Hagan and Parker. And the forwards, Harrison, Rowley, Fieldhouse, Jackson, Baldwin and Devorty. And on the bench for them, Roy Southernwood and Welsh international Mark Perrott. Match referee is Bob Connolly, just checking the watches, making sure that everything is A-OK with his touch judges. Blows the whistle. We're underway here at Derwent Park in the Stonesborough Championship battle. And can Workington maintain the recent run of decent form here at Derwent Park? It's a long, long way up for all the teams who come here, but Halifax have got men like John Bentley in the side, and with Mark Preston in 5 on the other wing, plenty of class on show here tonight.
Well, that's where the open spaces are. Right out there, you can see it on the wings, the grassed area, very sandy in the middle. That will really cut up as the game progresses.
Here's Roland Phillips, an instant hit in Cumbria since he came north from Warrington. And that's Kyle White, the other prop forward, driving it in and into the Halifax half of the field. Yes, this pitch is thought to be a great leveller in the big league. That's a good kick downfield and a fairly deep in-goal area, but even too deep for that from Mulligan's kick up field. And Preston content to allow it to run dead in goal. So Halifax will restart with that tap on the 20-metre mark, and Fieldhouse makes just 5 metres progress.
We saw there from that kick from Mark Mulligan that the wind is favouring Workington Town in this first half. Quite strong.
Well, their last home game, Workington beat Wakefield Trinity. It was their best win of the season. And they're all caught offside, Workington there. And also the referee having a word or two as well about, I think what he saw was a high tackle.
Little doubt about it. Loose forward Brad Heppy bouncing well and truly with a swinging arm.
You could see then, as Carl Harrison began to pick up a bit of pace, his footing just slipped on the sand. Here's Paul Rowley scampering away from dummy half.
That's going to be a key area from the hooker, Paul Rowley. This new rule where the players have to get away from the play the ball area. They're often caught going backwards. He's a very smart thinker, is the youngster Rowley.
Schuster plays the ball, and this now is Devorty who will take it into the danger zone for Halifax. Opening couple of minutes here, and the first threat on that Workington Town line. This is the last tackle. Jackson picks it up, gets the ball back to Hagan. Hagan dabs it over the top. He'll have to be quick, will Mulligan. And Mulligan, he could hear Hagan charging up behind him. He just hacked it dead.
He took his time, but he really had full control of it, though it did bobble around there in the in-goal area. I thought there was a forward pass earlier. The pass to the second rower, Michael Jackson, from Wayne Parker, looked a little bit forward to me. In fact, Jackson looked surprised that he actually received it. He thought he was running through as a dummy runner.
That's a good long kick from underneath his own post by Mulligan, but it bounces into the arms of Bentley, who will immediately run it back. Strength from Bentley, the sort of strength we hope he displays in Sydney in the World Sevens next month. Don't forget, by the way, you'll be able to see those World Sevens in a big league special on Sky, Sunday the 12th of February. Don't miss that, and let's hope Britain do us all proud. Harrison with the drive. Halifax back on the attack. Dummy half was Rowley, gets it to Hagan, and he then gets it to Fieldhouse. Fieldhouse falls, but gets it away to Parker. Parker then brings Baldwin into it. Good tackling on Baldwin by the standoff, Kevin Ellis. Here's John Schuster now, leading point scorer in the game. Halifax keeping the ball alive very well, and Harrison using his height and weight to good advantage. This now is Wayne Parker. Workington desperate to bring him down, and Halifax are 10 metres short of the line. It's the last tackle. It's with Devorty. Here's Hagan. Long ball out wide to Preston. Preston, little dab over the top, and it might come up for him. Preston gets it. The ball bounced unkindly for the Workington defence, but quick thinking from Preston, and Mark Preston's barren run comes to an end.
Superb individual play from Mark Preston. The ball slung out wide. He knew there was nowhere to go. The little chip over the top, and I'm afraid the slip there was enough. Oh, dearie me, that really was a bad mistake from the fullback, Mark Mulligan. Look how the ball just comes inside in the slip. It's very wet out there. And Mark Preston gleefully accepts the 4.
And the Mark Preston drought is over. That's his first try in 5 matches. Always seems to do well when he's on Sky, does Mark Preston. That's 139 tries now in this, his 197th game in the big league. It's quite a record. So John Schuster then has the chance here to add the extras. 78 goals this season, 212 points. He's got 14 tries as well. He's 30 at the moment, but he passes 31 on Tuesday. It's his birthday next week. Now, conditions like this, difficult for defenders, as Mark Mulligan has just proved, and very, very difficult for kickers also. But this fella is a kicker right out of the top draw. Well, that went left, then it went right, and then it straightened up. It didn't find the mark, and that shows you how difficult these conditions are.
There's a kick over the top. You can see that Mulligan has it right underneath, and then watch him slip. Whoops, and that's enough. And Preston in for a beautiful try. You've got to take your chances. A bad mistake from the full-back.
Well, not the sort of start that Workington Town would have wanted. Mark Mulligan, the Australian. Certainly this heavy going at Derwent Park taking its toll there for him. Halifax driving the ball up the middle now. Harrison, that looked a touch forward, I thought, that pass to Carl Harrison.
Well, he's applied that it was not interference, but a knock-on from the big prop forward, Carl Harrison. He really did make a Horlicks of that, didn't he? Also walked across the mark, but he should have actually played the ball. Well, we said about a good start for Workington was so important, but Lady Luck has shone on Halifax way there with the full-back Mulligan slipping.
Well, what can Halifax Town do about it now? That was Roland Phillips driving it in. And here now is Dean Marwood, little scrum half, ducking under the challenges, making good ground too, Marwood. Kyle White drops it though. And the referee will rule the knock-on.
Disappointed with himself there. It wasn't the best pass, it was going behind him. It's all about time, and I'm afraid the Australian prop forward, White, also took his eyes off the football. Nerves obviously playing the big part there.
Well, Kyle White shouldn't have too many of those, although he did celebrate his birthday yesterday. Kyle White joined this club from Wests and also had some time with Canterbury Bankstown. So he knows what the big league really is all about, or at least he should do. Here's Fieldhouse now. Second row there, Stephen Holgate getting the tackle in initially, helped out by Armstrong. Here's DeForty. Grounded 4 metres inside his own half. Rowley very quick from dummy half. He always tries to exploit that sort of space. That's the last tackle for Halifax. Parker drives it almost into the ground, and again making Mulligan turn. I'm sure Mulligan remembering the moment when he conceded the try. Doing better this time though, getting out of trouble. Hagan is the man who gets him down.
Good play from both sides there. It was a nice little kick from Wayne Parker.
Drummond's lost that. He went without the ball, and John Connolly saw it.
Well, it went down under, but I'm not so sure that it wasn't helped by the hand of Carl Harrison. And there's Mulligan there. A lot of nerves coming into it. The bat slip in the first instant. It was very slow to get through to the first kick also. He'll be trying to shake it off quickly as possible, but what a bad mistake on the first tackle from Drummond.
Yes, this is a big opportunity here for Halifax, and there's their captain, Carl Harrison. He's grounded 10 metres short of the line. Rowley's the man in at dummy half. Michael Jackson, he played as a centre on New Year's Day against Leeds in Halifax's last encounter. now back in his more accustomed position, the second row. Parker to Devorty. The direction of the attack switches. It's with Hagan. Hagan thought about a long pass, went for it. That is Steve Lay. He finds Bentley. Lay supporting, gets the pass away. Hagan picks himself up. Now Bentley again. Just dips it over the top. Mulligan again, watching it. And it could do anything, the ball, when it's chipped over the top because of this very heavy going.
Yes, it's really gluggy out there. But good thinking from John Bentley. A little bit too strong. He knows it too. But having seen Mark Mulligan being put on the rack, a lot of nerves in his game so far, that's the right option. Keep applying the pressure.
Well, I tell you, these conditions at Derwent Park tonight are a million miles away from what John Bentley will face when he's in Sydney in those World Sevens. Workington in the shape of Roland Phillips trying to get the ball out of trouble again. Again the ball went to ground, but the referee Connolly ruling that it went backwards. Fawcett was able to retain possession for Workington, and they're moving it quickly now. There's a great row from the crowd. They thought that Schuster had moved off the mark.
It's good defence though from Halifax. They really are moving it quickly. A lot of the Workington players, they're disappointed with the referee Bob Connolly.
They won't be now. He's penalised them for interference in the play of the ball.
The reason why they're a little bit upset there, it was a little bit of a flop, wasn't it? Took all the time in the world. The second rower, Simon Baldwin. Silly penalty to give away, but there was a Halifax hand got to the ball that knocked that back. Workington thought that they should have gone back to 6 more tackles. The more intent to get on with the game and start getting into their game plan.
McKenzie with the initial drive in, and it's now with Heppy, and Heppy with support from Fawcett. The ball worked out wide, and is Kevin Pape in? Yes, he is. Kevin Pape, his first for Workington, to add to the 8 tries he scored for Carlisle this season, and Kevin Pape at last gets a try in the big league.
Good play indeed. It was a good run on the blind side. It was called on the open, then switched. And then back inside, and the loose forward, Brad Heppy, breaks through. Fawcett hands it on. I'm not so sure that that wasn't a forward pass either. 50-50 perhaps, but it was okay according to the referee, Bob Connolly. But look how Brad Heppy goes through there. That was poor tackling. They went down too late. Fawcett did well to get it out to Kevin Pape, who gleefully accepts the 4. Well, I think Lady Luck has just balanced it out there.
Kevin Pape, 192 tries in 324 appearances for Carlisle. Marwood with the conversion, and he's kicked it. Well, Schuster missed with his. Marwood doesn't miss with his, and he rallies the crowd to get behind them.
You can see there how the prop forward, White, has gone on the blind side, and look how it opens up enough gap for Eppie to go through it. I'm afraid Hagan and the prop forward, John Fieldhouse, went far too high. Heppy through, good hands from Fawcett, and that man, Kevin Pape, puts Town back in the game.
Well, he's 33 years old, is Kevin Pape. He's now plying his trade in the big league after years and years in the lower division. That will give him a great deal of confidence, and it will give Workington confidence too. They now lead 6-4. Kevin Ellis.
Not only the fact that the confidence, it was the way that they scored that try. It was a set move. It always lifts them when you know that all the hard work you put on at training comes off when it comes to the big league games.
And you saw Marwood, when he kicked the conversion, really getting behind the crowd, asking them to raise their game too. And they really are now getting behind their team. And the kick downfield was into the arms of Preston, but referee Connolly has penalised Halifax for offside. He allowed the advantage to see whether Workington got any advantage. They didn't, and so he blew the whistle. Good refereeing.
Good refereeing indeed. You could see the confused look on the Halifax skipper, Carl Harrison. He went up to Bob Connolly and said, what on earth was that for? It was not the best kick. In fact, with this strong wind, I'm surprised that Workington didn't opt for a high ball. Near the coast here at Workington, bit of a swirling wind once it gets higher than the stands. Can go anywhere. But as you say, Eddie, he allowed the advantage. It was not given to Workington, thus the penalty.
So Marwood then, and that's exactly 13 metres away from the posts, in the sand. Just misses, and he didn't get the distance on it. It didn't go dead, so Bentley can run it out. I mean, maybe he should have been practicing on the beach here at Workington rather than on the training field this week. It stays at 6-4. 20 tonne of sand on this field, as Bill Arthur was telling us before the match.
Well, it may have affected the fact that when Marwood was going for that, and that's offside, he's got them back this time. Pretty keen there, Workington. Just getting to the point that when Marwood was kicking that ball, they just hoped that it was going to go dead in goal, and it didn't. And it allowed Bentley to get out 30 metres. They've got to move up for the kicker.
A quarter of an hour gone then, 6 points to 4. Workington conceding a soft try, but bouncing back very nicely. And Preston pulled to ground. Rowley was the dummy half. Devorty was the runner. Good tackling this from Workington. They're behind the 8 ball in terms of possession, but they're ahead on the scoreboard. And Hagan now will clip one to the corner, inviting Richard Smith to have a chase. But the ball runs, I was going to say touch and goal, but it doesn't. It finds touch the right side of the corner flag.
Nice kick from Hagan. He realises that the wind was against it, would hold the ball up. That's the reason why the centre, Richard Smith, was herring down. A little bit too strong, but in a fine position. Good defence, perhaps, force Workington into another mistake. We've got a couple already in this game. One mistake, a slip from Mulligan, allowed them to have a try, Halifax.
Workington in possession then, running the ball out here with Roland Phillips. Making good ground to the Workington prop forward. Clive Griffiths will be interested to see how Phillips and Ellis, who's in possession of the ball now, are faring up here in the far northwest. Bearing in mind that England international coming up for you on Sky on February the 1st.
It's damn good defence though from Halifax. They're moving up quickly into the first receiving on Workington. They're not allowing this ball to get out wide. Well taken there from Steve Lay.
Yes, a towering kick from Mulligan, and Lay read it perfectly. Halifax then back in possession on a ground that really hasn't been too kind to them over the years. The first and last win in the First Division came 10 years ago here. Both clubs having won promotion the previous season. But overall, they've just got 7 League and Cup victories behind them in 25 attempts, Halifax. It's a long, long road to Derwent Park, Workington. Here's Jackson. Just inside his own half, good tackling. Rowley and Devorty switches the ball back inside. Baldwin carries it on. But well done, Phillips, he was alert to that. But interference at the play of the ball, penalty to Halifax.
Second row, Colin Armstrong. Now, the rule states you must roll away. Armstrong didn't. He just stood his ground. That's the reason why the referee gave the penalty to Halifax. Armstrong claiming that he wasn't interfering. And Roland Phillips was none too quick getting away from the area also. Well, full credit to the referees. They are sticking to the direction from the new referee's boss, Greg McCallum.
I think they've got to. Otherwise, they know they'll be out of the big league. Penalties, 5 of them, 3 to Halifax. And should Ellis have been penalised then? I think he probably should have been. It's Baldwin now, just had a little look over his shoulder as he went down under the challenge from Burns. Parker running the angles, waiting for the gaps, and they almost appeared. It was a good job that Ellis got him downstairs and Heffley took him upstairs. Here's Fieldhouse, brings the pass to Hagan. Hagan puts boot to ball. That's good play from Bentley. Kevin Pape had nowhere to go then. Was trapped in goal.
Did well though, did Pape. Realised that the kick would be on. Look at that for good position, but beautiful play also from John Bentley. This is the penalty that Eddie was screaming for once he's not on the fence on this occasion, and I think you're right, Ed. Yep. You cannot strike for the football until it has been placed on the ground. You can see quite clearly it had not.
This is Steve Lay chiming into the line. 30 metres from the Workington post. Rowley spins away from the challenge from Holgate. Keeps the movement going to Baldwin. Baldwin thought about just nipping one out as he went down under Kyle White's tackle, but then thought better of it. Now Fieldhouse again, into the danger zone, the red zone, as Bobby Fulton, God bless him, told us before he left for Australia. Jackson, well, he played that ball lying horizontally, and quite rightly, the referee penalises him.
Well, he went to ground into the second rower and made a real meal of it. You must get yourself up off the ground before you play the football. It did not occur on that occasion from Jackson. And once again, Halifax skipper Carl Harrison has a little word in Bob Connolly's ear and say, what's that for? It's amazing how some of these players don't know the rules, isn't it?
Mulligan with the run, so Workington in possession. Let's go downstairs and join Bill Arthur, who has got James Pickering with him.
James, after a shaky start, it's looking a bit better from Town, isn't it?
Yeah, well, it is. We spent most of the half so far defending. We've controlled the ball once and we scored a try, so I think all we need is a bit more ball and a bit more control. We end with a chance. It's going to be a very tight match.
In these conditions, it must be difficult, though, to get that control of the ball.
Oh, it is. Like, it's the weather up here is not that good, but the ground conditions, they're very heavy on top. It's slippery all over. With the sand there now, it's probably going to make it a lot worse.
Only has let that bounce, and that could be very dangerous. And it's a good job that Preston is there, but he's trapped in goal. Well, that was almost suicidal from the Halifax fullback.
Well, he just misjudged it, didn't it? The wind just took it away, swirled away. I perhaps think that Steve Lay, the Halifax fullback, should I say, lost it in the lights.
I wonder if the crossbar came into it, Steve-O, because it was a towering kick from Marwood.
Certainly was. That was the option to take. Under pressure now, Halifax.
It's Drummond. Remember, he dropped the ball first tackle last time he had it. Not this time, though. Oh, the ball wasn't played properly. It's here now with Holgate. And it's desperate Halifax defence now. Marwood, back to Ellis. They switched the direction of the attack, and they used him then...
Offside.
I thought he maybe used him as a shepherd, but maybe not.
Well, he tried to use him as shepherd, then realised, let go of the ball. That meant that the player was in front of him. You'll see quite clearly here. Kevin Ellis gets the man, and you can see how he uses the man to run through. Now, this wasn't a play of the ball, was it? He just threw it behind him. That should have been a penalty. Well, there's little doubt that Kevin Ellis just lost his marbles there, confused. It was a dummy runner passing him, and he released it. The man's in front, he's offside.
Halifax then back in possession with Fieldhouse. Fawcett gets him, and so too does Kyle White. Rowley to Devorty. Devorty on the halfway line. I say there's nothing much wrong with this Workington Town side that a couple of victories really would put right. Just lacking a little bit in confidence, but Peter Walsh, their coach, is absolutely convinced they will get out of the hole that they've dug themselves in.
Well, they certainly have the talent. Now, that's the third occasion that the hooker Paul Rowley has set off from dummy half. He's doing, that's a big mess.
Yes, it bounced off the chest of the Workington defender.
Roland Phillips won't be happy with that, I think it is. Now, as a fullback, Mark Mulligan, I beg your pardon. But I'm just saying that Paul Rowley has made 3 beautiful runs from dummy half and has not had one support with him. I'm sure that'll be changed from the coach Steve Sims at the half-time break.
Good defence again from Workington. That was Mulligan in very, very quickly. Devorty into the arms of Schuster. And Schuster, it looked a touch forward to me. Referee says play on. Schuster has it again. Schuster with 14 tries under his belt this season was looking for number 15 then. Parker to Devorty now. And the Workington defence stands firm. Rowley again. Dummy half to Parker. He finds Hagan. Hagan to Richard Smith. And Smith under pressure from Fawcett. They keep the ball alive though. Bentley, Harrison. And they switch now down the right flank with Baldwin. Well tackled though by Heppy.
Superb defence there. Wonderful example of the sliding defence. You could see how they moved out and Heppy took his man to perfection.
Oh, that's quick thinking by Bentley. He managed to get boot to that before he was bundled into touch. It's still in play. And now it's been surrendered.
He'll activate the turnover. Not clearly taken by the player there. Bentley did very well indeed. Touch judge was on the ball on that occasion. Caught a bit of flack, haven't they, the merry flag wavers over the past couple of weeks. One poor fella got demoted.
I think the referee there ruled that Gary Devorty had impeded Workington as they went to get the loose ball, and he gave Town the penalty.
He deemed that he had taken Kevin Ellis out before he'd taken the football. Good refereeing.
So Workington will come again. They're on halfway with Armstrong.
You can see this Halifax defence going really heavy at the first receiver. It's a big gamble. That means that they're forfeiting the sliding defence.
Brad Heppy. Good support from Ellis. And he has got tons of support with him. Holgate to Marwood. Try for Marwood. A great roar from the terraces of Derwent Park. And Marwood has been fired up for this all night. The bottom club stretched the lead.
They don't come any better than this. Talk about keeping the ball alive. Beautiful run there from Brad Heppy, the loose forward, back on the inside. And Dean Marwood, Ellis should I say, back inside there, and then Marwood skirting up through the middle. Talk about superb support play. That was wonderful to watch. And the one occasion that they didn't move one man out for the first receiver, back on the inside, planned move from Ellis. Beautiful dummy. See how he drew Parker, who was playing in the sweeper. Steve Lay could do nothing about it. They just run out of men.
And Marwood with the 4, and Marwood now with the 6, because he's kicked the conversion. And suddenly Workington Town, well, we said at the start of the match that their home form could well prove the key to survival. They lead 12-4.
There you can see how he comes back on the inside. It was Heppy that did that. Superb play. Running at the angle. Wonderful stuff. Couldn't blame the fullback. He had to take the man. And Marwood slides in. The Town fans go berserko.
Dean Marwood, he's scored in the last 9 matches before tonight. He was in the Barrow team which won promotion in the 80s. And man of the match against London at Old Trafford last May. And he's doing well here tonight, as is Vince Fawcett. What a run from the big centre. Tremendous charge out of trouble from Fawcett, and he really has got this Workington Town crowd going now. Heppy spills the ball.
Oh, he tried to force it when it really wasn't on. Really didn't want that. He was claiming that it had the ball taken out, but really you can see he was trying to get the ball out there. The hooker, Phil McKenzie, was skirting. But what a run. Watch Fieldhouse go over the top. You can't tackle like that. Or should I say, attempt to tackle. And this Fawcett looks to have put on a lot of upper body strength, doesn't he?
Yes, former Leeds player, of course, Vince Fawcett, made his debut against Leeds in August for Workington. A match also that you saw on Sky. It kicked off our big league season. And Workington, well, they played a little bit like this that night, and then in the last 10 minutes they fell to pieces and Leeds won it. But it was a match that Workington really should have wrapped up. They haven't, Steve-O, really recovered from that.
No, it's a bad shot for them the last 15 minutes. It's been the story of their season so far. Once again we see Rowley there, but they're just not supporting. That was a shoulder charge.
Heppy with the shoulder on Baldwin. Parker picks up a dummy half, finds Hagan. Hagan hammers it underneath the wind. And Mulligan's there again. It's another little tempter. That's a great kick. Oh, that's a great kick and a great chase from Michael Hagan. And Mulligan's having a nightmare.
Well, he hoped that the ball would go dead in goal. He realised it at the moment. He had it well covered. A good play there by Bentley.
Not going for him though, is it? The luck for Mark Mulligan. He wanted that to run dead desperately. But Hagan really gave it a good clunk underneath the wind, didn't he?
Well, he kept it low, didn't he?
Oh, that's as low as you possibly get.
Well, I can't believe that with the wind behind them. Still.
Well, he made it almost up to halfway.
It's important now that Workington really do consolidate now, make sure that they get their defence sorted out. You can't allow Halifax to get back into the swing of things. They've gone off the boil, Halifax, mainly due to the fact that Workington's tackling has been very strong.
Fieldhouse lost it, the ball went backwards, Halifax will say, and Fieldhouse will lead the protest.
Jeez, he's brought out some crunches, hasn't he? Brad Heppy. Fieldhouse felt it. Tell you another player who felt one from a previous tackle, John Schuster. They're going in pretty heavy at this Workington defence.
Kevin Pape just on his haunches, just taking a breather as Marwood collects the loose ball. Bob Connolly just telling all the three-quarters to hang back. They were drifting in offside at that scrum. But look at that in terms of possession, 64-36, but now look at the scoreline, 12-4 Workington. Matches are not won in the stats book. They're won out there on the paddock, and aren't Workington taking the battle to Halifax, and it looks like they might be getting another penalty here.
Richard Smith going in high. I think you'll find. Touch judge keen to get into it. Well, it looked all right from this angle, unless there was something after it. Nah, there was little there, wasn't there?
I thought it was Mark Preston. Just a little swipe.
Wasn't happy with it. Well, maybe a facial from Richard Smith. But he said that Mark Preston threw a little one. By Jove, it was small, wasn't it? They're eagle men, these merry flag wavers.
Well, Workington will not be debating the awarding of that penalty. There's Paul Burns, and that is the Halifax quarter line. And it was a good job that Rowley got the ankle tack in then on Stephen Holgate. White gets the ball away to Armstrong.
This is where Workington are really stretching this Halifax defence. They're running the angles with the forwards and bringing the ball back on the inside. And that is confusing this Halifax sliding defence. They don't know whether the man's to come in and take him.
Ellis, well, not the best ball, and Mulligan knocked that forward. It gets from bad to worse for poor Mark Mulligan, but that was an awful pass.
Well, it was a rah-rah spin, and it wasn't a rah-rah drop. Not happy. Things just has not gone Mark Mulligan's way, but he had a long look at his standoff Kevin Ellis with the pass.
Wayne Parker has broken through. He has support there from Hagan, and a good job there that Kevin Pape had tracked back with Hagan. Now then, here's Bentley into the arms of Michael Jackson. Well, good to see Michael Jackson back in the big league, his second consecutive match here tonight. As I said earlier, his best run in this Halifax team has been 6 matches in a row. He's had some dreadful injury problems, but he's back, and he's in his accustomed position tonight in the second row. Rowley, the dummy half. Now Parker. Hagan, that was a mile forward to Schuster.
Well, he gave a penalty on a previous occasion when Workington did it. Remember, Kevin Ellis deliberately passed the ball forward. On this occasion, Bob Connolly has deemed that it was accidental, not deliberate, so the scrum will go down. Either way, Workington will get the feed and the head.
Kevin Pape takes the tackle. There's big Vince Fawcett again. This time, though, Halifax equal to the task. Marwood, the dummy half to Ellis, and on to Phillips. 2 men there who were battling it out at the top of the big league this time last year with Warrington. Mulligan there does well to retain possession. That ball was all over the show. And the referee, what's more, wiped the tackle count down to 0. It's 6 to go for Workington.
They were lucky there, though. They really should have just put the ball up the jumper. They're in a position 8 points in front. Clock ticking down towards a half-time break. Possession is vital.
Phillips gets the ball away. It was worth taking the gamble. Here's Ellis, fed there by Marwood. Brad Heffy, the dummy half. Here's Kyle White, deciding which way to go and gives it to Holgate.
Once again, the pass back on the inside is confusing the defence.
The ball looked to me then not to be played, but the referee has pinned Halifax for impeding them at the play of the ball.
Now then, the new edict from the referee, Greg McCullum, is that a side will be warned on 2 occasions, and then after he's been warned, the next one will get a yellow card.
Well, Carl Harrison believes that the referee is getting it wrong, but I think our pictures are proving the referee is getting it right.
Well, he's just been told. There you can see holding back also in the background, a player not allowed to support the man with the football. Little doubt about it, Fieldhouse was all over the top of him. But the next one that infringes on the Halifax side will get the yellow card.
Well, he should. That's the letter of the law now. Marwood with the penalty, strikes it low, it creeps over. Did I notice a sigh of relief from Dean Marwood? Well, 14-4, Workington Town, having conceded the early try, they've bounced back superbly.
Well, he needed a bucket and spade for that one, didn't he? Jeez, that just went over the bar.
And he wasn't on the sand then.
And it was quite funny to see both touch judges say, did that actually go over?
Well, the flags went up after a little glance. Bentley restarts for Halifax. Ellis collects it. Let's get downstairs to Bill. Injury news.
While that penalty was being kicked, John Schuster was having treatment. Halifax a little bit reluctant to actually reveal what the nature of his injury is, but I suspect it could be a bit of a hamstring pull. He's been flexing that right leg, and he's had a couple of visits from the Halifax physio, but he's staying on at the moment. The other player with a bit of a problem at the moment is Phil McKenzie, who had a dose of the smelling salts. He's on the ball at the moment, but I know he's a little bit groggy.
That's McKenzie with the ball, and he plays it quickly, and Workington in the shape of Roland Phillips, who's bouncing them off, now will take the tackle.
Surely they'll opt for the bomb high.
It's with Marwood, and there is the bomb diagonally. And the ball bounces, and they've got the try! And that's Colin Armstrong! Colin Armstrong scores the try, and this is a purple first half for Workington Town. The Halifax defence made a right hash of that bomb from Marwood, and they're delighted here, and no wonder.
Watch when Marwood kicks the ball to the corner. He races forward and he's shouting at the referee. He puts everyone onside. There really was heavy traffic there, and Colin Armstrong, what a great servant to this club for many, many years. Marwood hoops the big bomb, but you'll see him fly past the referee. Bentley made a real meal of it, and Armstrong gets it down.
And Colin Armstrong marks his 150th appearance tonight for Workington Town with a priceless 4 points. Now, Dean Marwood's been pretty good with the boot, and the roar will tell you that he's pretty good again. But look at this scoreline. Workington Town, bottom of the table, 20. Halifax, fourth top, 4. Whoever would have thought it. But Armstrong reaching that milestone, 150 appearances tonight, and the try, well, it could be priceless. And I say, whoever could have thought it, I better give him a rap. He's next to me. And Steve-O, you are tipping this from as early as Tuesday.
I certainly was, but there's a long way to go.
And Bentley's kickoff sails out on the full. Steve Sims will want to get in his team, Steve-O, and quickly too.
Well, they've just lost their way, haven't they? They've had all the possession in the first part of this first half. They did not put the points on board that they should have, and full credit to this Workington side. They've only actually been in the Halifax side on 5 or 6 occasions, and they've come up with 3 tries.
This is Phil McKenzie. He really has been making inroads too. He's a ton of big league experience under his belt. Ellis. Steve Sims not looking too pleased, is he, watching glumly on. The word in Halifax was, as they go for the drop goal attempt, Mulligan, and he just misses. Mulligan misses with the 1-pointer. Steve-o, the word in Halifax is that the Leeds defeat on New Year's Day was merely a hiccup for Halifax, but it doesn't look like it's merely a hiccup on this display.
No, they started out well, they got the break that they needed, and I'm afraid that all that possession, I think they just went to sleep. And that's got to be a penalty all over the top there. Prop forward Kyle White, Australian, trying to get the opposite number down under. Too long. There'll be plenty said to the Halifax side, I can tell you, from their coach, Steve Sims. They have just not got it together, and I'm afraid Michael Hagan and Wayne Parker are not swinging into things. Their combination, the links, is not there.
Well, they had a great start, didn't they? But 10 seconds of stoppage time elapses, and a big cheer from the Workington Town faithful here at Derwent Park, because Workington Town are ahead at half-time, 20 points to 4. Mark Preston with the first try for Halifax, a dream start for them. But since then, it's been all Workington, despite the fact that poor old Mark Mulligan will look back and wonder whether Friday the 13th really is going sour for him. Colin Armstrong with the try up to half-time gives us the 20 points to 4 scoreline. Well, they're enjoying this on Cumbria, and I just wonder whether Workington this time can hold out. Workington lead Halifax by 20 points to 4 at half-time, and if they can hold on to that lead and indeed build on it, Workington will be out of the bottom 2 come 9 o'clock tonight. Statistics from the first half. Well, Workington have had to do a lot of tackling because they're behind on the possession. Scrums level pegging, 12 penalties, 7 of them to Workington, and just 7 handling errors, 4-3 in Workington's favour. Dean Marwood has had a big influence on that first 40 minutes, and I fancy he will want to do same again in the second half, as Workington now face the wind at Derwent Park. A wind that caused Halifax so much problems in the first half. So, bottom club in the Stonesbiter Championship against 4th placed Halifax. But if someone had dropped in on Derwent Park tonight from Mars and taken a look at these two sides, they would say on the evidence of the first 40 minutes that it is Workington who are up there at the other end of the table and not Halifax. Let's go downstairs now to Bill Arthur, who's got Colin Welland with him.
Colin, only a third visit, I think, to Derwent Park, isn't it?
Yes, it's real grassroots rugby league, this, isn't it? It's terrific. I'm really enjoying it. Workington are playing the direct rugby, straight running, quick support, and they're winning a good game at the moment, aren't they?
It's a bit of a turn-up for the books, isn't it?
Well, never at Workington. Anybody will tell you, Workington are hard to beat, and they're very, very tough, as you can hear from the crowd.
They're up against a strong wind in the second half. They're 16 points ahead. Do you reckon they can hold it?
Well, I've a bet with my son, he's taken Halifax. But I think they'll probably hold out. If they can keep tackling and tackling and tackling, Halifax are a bigger, faster side, but if they can keep them subdued, they can win it.
Thanks, Colin.
Thank you very much.
Colin Welland, an Oscar winner, and 1 or 2 gongs ought to be handed out to the players at both sides tonight, after the display that they're putting on for us here at Derwent Park this evening.
Talking of gongs, the second rower from Halifax there, Michael Jackson, was very fortunate. There was a big swing in arm. Referee, neither the touch judges saw either. Well, it's obvious that Steve Sims has asked for a little bit more effort and fire, and get fired in the belly from this Halifax pack.
There is the Halifax coach on the walkie-talkie down to the trainer's dugout, no doubt, passing the instructions on. Jackson there gets the ball out to Richard Smith, but this Workington Town tackling tonight is a joy to behold if you're from Cumbria. I must say, Colin Welland has made a long journey up here to be with us tonight. We're talking, Steve-o, before the match, and it's difficult to believe that from London to here it's, well, 350 miles just about. Yet you're still in England, and when you move from Luton to Glasgow, you're only doing 320 miles. It's a long, long trip up here.
You must have got big marks at geography, Eddie. You've absolutely stunned me there.
But at least I can make you speechless about something.
Well, a lot of messing around there, and you can see there were 3 markers, and the first 2 were not square. Well, an Australian technique there, often used down under when it's windy. Rather than take the chance of it spiraling off the side of your boot, they place it on the ground. You're allowed to do that.
Penalty. Workington. High tackle. Jackson caught this time.
And also, I think he wasn't too happy with Gary Devorty coming a little bit late and high.
And it was taken quickly, the penalty. Roland Phillips spins away from Baldwin, but the next 3 get in. The 9th Workington penalty. We had a couple early on here at the start of the second half. Kyle White driving in. To say, on the evidence of the opening 3.5 minutes, Workington have maintained the pace despite the half-time break. There's Heppy.
Causing them a lot of trouble, isn't it, the loose forward, Heppy? Running at the angle.
Ellis is causing 1 or 2 problems also. Halifax just hanging off him and giving Ellis that extra split second to weave a bit of magic. Marwood tries to dab one through, and that's just a bit too strong, but again it was held back in the wind.
Pretty long grass as well in that in-goal area, and quite damp. A bit like a bowl of porridge. Just a little bit too strong though, but it's been a good opening stanza from the Workington Town mob. They really want to start where they finished off in the first half, and it was very strong play from them. And look at that defence.
And the ball has come free, and it came out of Harrison's grasp, and Workington do well.
Well, Harrison tried to get the ball away. What on earth would he want to get the ball away with so much heavy traffic around him?
He has had 1 or 2 bemused looks at the referee. Roland Phillips hands it on to Ellis. Ellis does well. Fawcett, there's space outside for Pape, who decides instead to cut infield. 5 minutes just about on the watch, second half. Workington beginning this second 40 minutes as they ended the first. On the attack, in charge. Mulligan to Marwood, to Ellis. Ellis gives it to White, who hit that at pace, and Jackson was the man who was waiting for him.
It was a super tackle from Jackson. It needed to be as well.
Ellis just dabs it with the outside of his foot, and they've got one! Heppy! Brad Heppy scores! Ellis created it with a little dab through from the outside of the boot, and Brad Heppy, he picks a great night to get himself off the mark.
Good thinking from Kevin Ellis. He aimed this ball right at the foot of the post, and you could see, I think it was Devorty that held back, made a real meal of it, anticipated perhaps that the ball was going to come off the post. That hesitation was enough. Yeah, Devorty just held back. That man didn't, Brad Heppy. That is a fine try, and what a wonderful position for Bob Connolly there. Great positioning from the referee, but what a lovely kick from Ellis.
And what a good kick also from Marwood from bang in front. Marwood adds the extra 2, and Workington streak into a 26-4 lead. Start of the second half. And Brad Heppy, 10 tries in each of his last 4 seasons, but finding it tough in the big league until tonight.
Well, they're running hot. The option of the kick, high when it's breezy. When they had that strong wind to their advantage in the first half, they got it high. On this occasion, it's like a glue pot out there now. Keep the ball low, anything can happen, and that's what occurred.
Great determination, great self-belief from Workington Town. And remarkably, despite the fact that they've got 26 points here tonight, scoring has been a major problem for them all season. Only Wakefield and Widnes have scored less in the big league.
I think also that win by Wakefield midweek, that really would have spurred them on. They knew that they were really in the danger zone. They cannot allow the teams to just start dragging themselves away.
McKenzie, the dummy half. Mulligan, he just sidestepped as he shaped a kick. That catches in the wind. It's patted back and it's play on. But now Parker has it. But in come Workington. Oh, they really are playing well tonight.
Using the option, the ball held in that strong wind. And Kevin Ellis really has found his legs again.
Yes, he and Roland Phillips. They turned down the move to Featherstone earlier. Schuster drops it. That's a knock-on. Just back to that point about Ellis and Phillips as we watch Schuster drop it. They turned down a move to Featherstone earlier on.
Beautiful play, though. Look at that. Colin Armstrong really put his body on the line to make sure that ball went back. Kevin Ellis screaming through once again. The option of the kick. It's just confusing, this Halifax defence there. And I tell you what, the Halifax coach, Steve Sims, won't be too happy the way that the centre, John Schuster, was carrying that football. Very lackadaisical.
It must be tremendous, though, Steve-o, for a club at the bottom of the table like this, to see men like Ellis and Phillips, two men there in possession, turn down moves to what some people might class as a more glamorous club, Featherstone Rovers. But they decide to pin their colours to the Workington mast and see it through to the end of the season.
It's all about team spirit, isn't it? We heard Kevin Ellis before the game. He said that it's a great spirit up here at Workington Town. It would be a really travesty of justice if the Town did go into it. They've missed the option, though. They've run out the 6. They really should have gone for the kick there and applied more pressure. But it would be a big disappointment for the Cumbrian fans. They need First Division football. They need the big league.
And it'd be a big disappointment for them if they were to lose this tonight. 26-4 they lead, coming up to 10 minutes of the second half gone. And Halifax, a team with one of the best away records in the big league, being taken apart here tonight. The referee wants a word.
I think that's the second warning. You can see moving off the mark, and he's made it quite clear to them. So I think that's both sides now have had their 2 warnings. The next one, they'll take a 10-minute stint in the sin bin, and that could sway the game.
So both sides walking a disciplinary tightrope now. Workington suddenly enjoying the better of things in this match in the second half. Fieldhouse, but it bounced off Richard Smith, and Workington have it back courtesy of Burns.
Well, I know they've got to try to keep this ball alive to get back into the game, but really, that was panic football again. I can't understand it. They've got to roll their sleeves up, Halifax. Hagan and Parker, they've got to start combining a little bit more, and the forwards, they've got to start backing each other up.
Mackenzie turns the ball back to Marwood, and he in turn finds Heffy. That was forward. That was a forward pass from Heffy into the arms of Holgate, but it's play on. Drummond takes the tackle.
Well, it's all going for them. There was a yard forward.
It's the last one. Mulligan doubting along the ground. That sticks in the grass and sticks in the wind. And nowhere for the Halifax fullback Lay to go.
Tried his best. Mackenzie was first there, and he could see straight after the tackle, Mackenzie gene his team up, said, come on, good defence, that's the way.
That just eluded Kevin Pape, and that's got good length on it now, that clearance from the Halifax post. It went to the 20-metre, in fact it went 10 metres from the Workington line, that. And it's a credit really to Kevin Pape that he got it back and made 15 metres in the recovery.
Good thinking though by Armstrong. You could see he was under a lot of pressure. There was never any doubt that he was going to release that football. They'll just slog it out, play out the 5, then opt for the kick, even though against his strong wind.
Mackenzie still has got it, hasn't he? But he released the pass there foolishly. The ball went to ground, it's play on, and what's more, it's 6 to go.
It came off a Halifax player. See there, it was Hagan that got a fingertip to it.
Good decision by touch judge and referee. So it gives Workington Town another big opportunity here with Roland Phillips. And I know there are 1 or 2 people in the Warrington area who are very sad to see Roland Phillips playing up here and not at Warrington, and playing like this they'll be even sadder at the end of tonight. He's having a good game. Well,
after the way he's played today, they'll make him an honorary Cumbrian. Really has put their heart and soul into it, haven't they?
One man who will be delighted in Warrington to see him in this form, of course, is Welsh coach Clive Griffiths. Heppy, he's having a big influence. Oh, that's great backing up from Ellis. Workington Town are running riot, and they're on the way off the bottom of the table tonight. Ellis with the try, created by Heppy.
Never mind Heppy, Halifax need Helpy. This was beautiful play, long ball out wide. Heppy there just swings it around. Look how they got stuck in the mud. Jackson couldn't move up. They're not going up in a one straight line. Beautiful support play. There's never any doubt that Ellis was going in for 4 points. Long ball out wide. Heppy throws the dummy. You can see the sliding defence caught off it. Jackson had his back to them. Acceleration, superb support play. They're loving it, the crowd's loving it. I am, and I'm sure you at home are doing the likewise.
Kevin Ellis's 4 points. Dean Marwood just jogging back because a few moments ago from bang in front, he made no mistake with the conversion. And this now is Workington's best score of the season, 32-4, and they're on course for their best win of the season. And you can hear them, they're singing at Derwent Park. Not had too much to sing and chant about this season, but they're enjoying this now. And Halifax have made a change. Fieldhouse has gone off, and Mark Perrott, another Welshman, has come on. Well, there he is in the tackling right away.
Well, I was wondering when Steve Sims was going to ring the changes. He'll be very disappointed with some of the effort out there. We said it was going to go down to fitness in the end, and quite frankly, this Workington Town side, I knew they'd been working hard over the festive season. They knew how vital it was to go into 95 and start getting things right. Well, what a start to them.
And Burns picked the pass up off the floor then and brought Ellis into it brilliantly. This is the last tackle. Mulligan will hammer it downfield, and it just skips off the ground and runs dead. What a night. Look at this pass, Steve-O, from Burns.
Beautiful play, good support play again. Ellis really is on fire tonight.
Well, they all are. I know that clubs love to welcome us on a Friday night because it adds a lot of drama and everything else to their occasion. But this is a real bonus for Workington Town.
Well, a kid who's just played the ball, Paul Rowley, must think what he has to do to get back in his side back into the game. He's trying his heart out. Some great runs from dummy half, but on that occasion, only one support player again. It's as though Halifax don't realise he's going to run from dummy half. They know him enough by now, surely.
Well, you watch, Steve-O, Workington will have us back every week if they could turn in performances like this. And almost again then, Mulligan was fooled by the bounce, but he got it bravely in the end.
Good play, though, by Wayne Parker. He knew that they had no sweeper. Therefore, the little chip over the top had to commit the fullback.
He was clattered here too. Right into the breadbasket by Parker.
Probably a stray elbow as he just hit. The ribs will be quite sore, having treatment in the background.
He won't want to leave this stage though, will he, Mark Mulligan? And he isn't. There's Peter Walsh, the Workington coach, under a lot of pressure. Bottom of the table. Other clubs in the big league have changed their coach to try and arrest the slide, but they stuck with him up here in Cumbria, and well done to him too. If he can keep them going like this till the end of the season, there's no danger where they'll be this time next year.
If they can keep this up, as you're saying, the team spirit that they're displaying tonight has been tremendous. Believe you me, it's a lonely world when you're at the bottom of the big league and you're an Australian 12,000 miles away from home. It's amazing how many friends disappear. They'll all come back tonight, though, if they can keep Halifax penned down, and at 32-4, it's going to be a courageous fight back from the Halifax side.
Well, in his programme notes tonight, Peter Walsh says, remember what was going on here 12 months ago. They were at the top of the tree in the second division and aiming for promotion. Things were so rosy. He eventually got them into the first division for the first time in a decade, and he has dramatically rebuilt his squad since then. And tonight it looks like they might have turned the corner.
Plenty to choose from there. There's Drummond, one of them leading the way. The hooker, Phil McKenzie. Just shows you how keen they are but there's still plenty of time left. I know it's a big hill for this Halifax side to climb, but they've got to play with a little bit of pride.
And Roy Southernwood has come on to replace Carl Harrison, their captain. Here's the man who could turn it for them, Hagan. Now Richard Smith. This surface here at Workington, Southernwood, who's on the field and involved in the action right away. This surface at Workington causes visiting teams all sorts of problems. Parker driving into the post, they melted away from him, and they just got back in time.
What an amazing tackle from Colin Armstrong. I thought that Parker was over there. The strength put him through.
It was dabbed through, or attempted to be, by Hagan, and Kevin Ellis was there and he read it perfectly.
You could hear the Halifax players shouting at the referee Bob Connolly, offside, offside, but the ball played the man, so that would have made it accidental. Can't be offside unless the man deliberately plays at it. You see the ball plays the man. In fact, it was Ellis that actually picked up the ball from his own foot. And that's play on anyway.
Phillips, he's running like a man demented tonight.
He's running like a man that wants a contract.
Well, he's a big favourite at Wilderspool, and he is a big favourite here at Derwent Park. Mulligan again. Hammers it under the breeze. Lay collects it. Nothing for Preston to do.
Well, he did well, Preston, there to help his full back out, Steve Lay, but I'm not so sure that he wanted the ball that quickly. He was still going backwards when the ball plopped into him. But look at the defence from Workington. They really have stepped up a gear. When it all goes right, the confidence builds, team spirit builds. So eager. Three men there, eager to get them down. Halifax have been just blitzed by a whirlwind.
Paul Rowley scampering away from dummy half, but hauled down by Kyle White. And Bentley at the dummy half finds Parker. Now this match tonight not only going to New Zealand, but is also going to Australia now, courtesy of the Prime network down under. So these teams in the big league are on a perfect stage. And wherever you're watching all over the world, this match at Derwent Park, there's the finishing power in the last quarter for these two sides. And Workington have scored 18% of their total before tonight. They've conceded 25, that's 30%. And for Halifax, they've scored 22, that's 29% of their 75. They've conceded 12. So in the last quarter, Workington do have the tendency to fade a little bit. And they don't look like they're going to fade tonight. Well, that was a forward pass.
And also a swinging arm from John Bentley. He did a great tackle, and then he threw a right punch.
And Pape's flat out, and neither touch judge nor referee has seen it.
Well, he spoiled himself there. Oh, he comes for the football, and Pape goes in.
And with four others. Bob Connolly, hands behind his back, just lets them sort it. Here's Michael Jackson.
Seconds out on that occasion. That's the tackle. Watch it. He just threw it. There it went. Not part of the game.
Preston couldn't hang on to it. Just got a hand to it, but it sailed into touch.
Not the best pass, though, from Roy Southernwood, the substitute. Way over the top. But he was put under a lot of pressure. That's been the story for Workington tonight. They really have harassed Halifax. Never allowed the skills of Michael Hagan, one of the best ball distributors in the game. And I'm sure the people down in Australia watching this game will be wondering what on earth has happened to him. He's just not injected himself into this game at all.
Yes, we're now to New Zealand, courtesy of the Sky Network, and Australia, courtesy of Prime. And in this country, courtesy of Sky Sports, of course. And the second half possession sees Workington winning it in a canter, and so too does the scoreline, 32 points to 4.
Well, they wanted to get on with it very quickly, did Workington, but the experience there, Colin Armstrong shouting very quickly, so was Phil McKenzie. Slow it down, let's get the ball into the corner. We've got Halifax on the rack, we may as well just tighten the screw now. No need to panic.
Halifax have certainly had to do more work in the second half in the tackling department. Australian coach Steve Sims, alongside him Paul Moriarty, watching the Halifax team being taken apart here by the club at the bottom rung of the ladder, but that's good play from Baldwin, and Baldwin sets off through the sand, gets away from Drummond. Drummond comes back for a second snap, and in the end it's Heppy who comes back to bring the big second rower down.
Tremendous play from the second rower, Simon Baldwin, but he must be wondering where on earth his teammates got to.
Well, here's Jackson.
It seemed an age that the two wingers, Bentley and Preston, they've got plenty of speed.
There is Bentley, he releases the ball to Parker. Here's Hagan. Hagan, it was behind Richard Smith. The referee has blown the whistle, he will rule the knock on.
Good play by Kevin Ellis there, he just dragged the arm of Hagan at the last moment. It's made Smith not have the best passes towards him. And I think Ellis has picked up an injury in that tackle. This is a run from Simon Baldwin, but at this point he just brushed off Drummond. He must be thinking, where on earth are they? I'm sorry, Simon, there was no one there until late. Preston was the first on the scene, but the tackle had been made.
Well, the applause in the background is for Roland Phillips, who leaves the stage. He has been substituted by Gary Schubert, and we're going to go straight to Roland Phillips and hear from him now. He's talking with Bill.
Roland, you come off to a hero's reception. There's still 15 minutes to go, though.
Yeah, I mean, we've been in something similar to this position before, where we got a few points in the bag and we let it go. But Halifax seem to be giving away some silly penalties and they're forcing the passes. So it's making us a lot easier for us to make yards. So I'd be very surprised if we lose in this position.
It has been an astonishing Workington performance, hasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, throughout the season, especially since myself and Kevin have been up here, there's been a lot of close games where maybe one or two scores, that's always in it. But we've been promising to do something, I guess, all season. So it's a tremendous, hopefully, result tonight.
Halifax now down to 12 men. It just keeps getting better for you, doesn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it was just as nice to beat them with 13, but yeah, it makes life a bit easier.
Thanks, Roland.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, Simon Baldwin's in the sin bin, shown the yellow card by Bob Connolly. The academy tourist in 1994 takes 10 minutes on the bench, and there's only a quarter of an hour of this match remaining, so Halifax are having to do it tough. Here's Marwood now. Must say, Steve-O, this has been one of the most enjoyable nights of the season. Great reception here from the Workington town crowd. The display from the team up to that moment, pretty hot. And, well, Halifax making a bit of a fist of it in terms of a contest.
Well, maybe so. Most people will be happy, I'd say. There's been some wonderful try score from Workington. To the Halifax fan, I don't think they'd be too happy with it. It's not been the best performance, has it? There's quite a lot of talent out there in the Halifax side, and they really have not shown the full status that we expect from a big league side. But let's not take anything away from this Workington defence. They really have harassed them, got in early.
I tell you, somewhere else where this match will not be viewed with any great joy, and that's at Featherstone and at Hull, because those two sides will drop to the bottom of the table tonight. Because I don't think there's any doubt now, although you say things like this and they come back and smack you in the face, but I don't think there's any chance now that Workington will let this slip. Heppy's challenge on Parker, ferocious.
Well, Parker tried to keep the ball alive. He knows the situation. He knows that it's really backed to the wall, isn't it? Well, we saw last Friday Hull bounce back with 3 tries in about 5 or 6 minutes. That's what's needed from Halifax, but I'm afraid that the way this Workington defence is playing, that is not going to happen tonight.
Michael Jackson is seeing stars, I think, and has got a bit of blood just coming from underneath the eye, so he's often in the blood bin. And that means Carl Harrison will return for him.
This is how the injury was caught. You can see that an elbow sneaked in there from Brad Heppy. And he wasn't too happy with it. The impact on that was a bad one. It doesn't look too good, I'm afraid, Michael Jackson.
Yeah, looked a bit dazed, and Harrison, the man who has come on to replace him. They're on the 5th tackle here, Workington. Mulligan will chip it over. That'll hang in the breeze. That's play on. No, they got it back, Halifax. I thought for a moment Workington were in again.
Well, it's a funny man, a prop forward to put in as your sweeper. John Fieldhouse there in the sweeping role. Not the fastest man to be taking that position. It really just indicates the confusion and the way that they've lost the way, I'm afraid, Halifax tonight.
Halifax in possession, and here is Mark Perrott. Pretty quiet since he came on, the 21-year-old. That's a better run from him. Interesting fact about him, actually, he faced the Kangaroos last autumn 3 times, once for Halifax, once for Wales, and once for the Great Britain under-21s. Mulligan does well, under pressure from Parker, and he wheeled that in.
Tremendous take there. Well, it was a bit shaky in the first half, but look at that. Eyes on the ball at all time, never wavered, did he? Arms up to reach the ball, bring it into the cradle, into his chest. Any youngster watching, that's the way to do it.
Walking, lads!
Colin Armstrong. Big night for him, big night for Workington too. Mackenzie drills the ball into the arms of Preston, who gives it to Lay, who helps it on again to Bentley. If you're watching in Australia, you'll be seeing John Bentley in the World Sevens in Sydney, but it will be a different track underfoot than this. Here's Schuster now. Actually, plenty of Kiwis and Aussies to keep our friends down under entertained, Steve-O, tonight, including the 2 coaches. Kyle White, Mark Mulligan, Phil Mackenzie, Brad Heppy, one side, Schuster, Hagan on the other.
You really are amazing me tonight, Edward. But what a game Brad Heppy's at, both in attack and defence. It's been superb. He's led by example. He's a tough character, some nice individual skills, done his work in defence.
Good in the last 10. Halifax get the ball back. Now, number 6, Kevin Ellis, was offside then, and I think Kevin Ellis knows he was too. He looked at the referee, who has ruled the knock-on.
There's little doubt about it, and Ellis was offside, quite clearly. Looked confused there, Bob Connolly.
He's ruled the knock-on. He's had a chat with his touch judge.
It's got to be a penalty.
Well, it's a scrum.
You see the ball come off. Got to be offside. Kevin Pape got a fingertip to it. Kevin Ellis was stood in front. Swinging arm, and it looks like he'll go. Yellow card.
Referee holds the clock up.
Flopping all over the top there. There you see it. Simon Baldwin.
It's Kyle White who goes. Stephen Holgate, beg pardon. Stephen Holgate goes.
Well, I'm glad we got it right in the end.
We got there, didn't we?
Get off him! Get off him!
So he takes 10 minutes in the bin. Young lad there asking for his autograph. I don't think he's in the mood to do much writing as he takes his place on the bench, because he won't come back tonight unless there's a lot of stoppage time. Schuster is grounded 10 metres from the line. Halifax, Parker, short ball, Harrison pops one up, and Southernwood is enveloped by fullback Mulligan, who, it must be said, Steve-O, he started shakily, but he has really come good.
Well, that just indicates the problems that Halifax have gone through tonight. Once again, Paul Rowley trying to get something going on his own.
Here's Parker who's in though, and they've got consolation. Wayne Parker with the 4 points. Chorus of boos on the Derwent Park terraces. Wayne Parker has tried as hard as any in Halifax colours tonight. And Parker, who joined in the summer from Hulkingston Rovers, gets his third try of the season.
Well, it was a good run there. Jumped on the dummy half. Knew what was happening when Paul Rowley was going through. I thought it was obstruction, but he didn't use a man. There you can see they pulled out the defence. Not the best pass, but Devorty got it away. Harrison, a beautiful little pass there, and well supported by Wayne Parker. As Eddie mentioned, he's worked hard, he's tried, he has not thrown the towel in. A little bit of pride there. There's Rowley. Well, claims from Ellis that I couldn't get to him. Turned down by Connolly. From here, Devorty gets on to Harrison. It's a neat little play here. This is what made him world famous. The big prop forward, Carl Harrison, taking the tackle and offloading. Well supported.
So Wayne Parker's try, and it's been improved by John Schuster, who maintains his record of scoring in every game that Halifax have played this season. It's 32 points to 10. Only Martin Streck, by the way, of Rochdale, can boast a similar record to John Schuster, having scored in every match so far this season in Division 2. It'll be of scant consolation, though, to Schuster and Halifax, but they're in double figures.
Well, it's not about a consolation situation. They know the 2 points is gone. They're on losing pay. But it's all about trying to build for the next game now. Go through the moves and at least get back into some sort of rhythm.
Schuster favouring a hamstring in the first half, and he was twisted over there in the tackle.
That wouldn't have helped it.
Certainly wouldn't. Harry Schubert with the tackle. The ball pops up, and Kyle White it is this time, who is alert to the possibility.
Well, once again, the big prop forward, Harrison, trying to keep that ball alive. But there was no one there. It's been a disappointing night for the big prop forward.
Vince Fawcett. Mackenzie, the dummy half. Armstrong. 3 to meet him, and 1. Carl Harrison out wide to cut the pass off if it was going to go to Schubert. Mackenzie and White.
Bit of a laugh there as you saw the substitute Mark Perry just going with a little bit of a late tackle and apologised.
Mackenzie, good run.
Been a professional game from Phil Mackenzie, hasn't it? At times when Workington needed just calming down, his experience told.
Well, he has got all the experience in the world, Mackenzie. He's working these days at Warrington General Hospital in the physiotherapy department with an eye to the future, but, well, he's only 31, and I know that he is completely committed to this Workington Town cause. Brad Heppy has been withdrawn and Lee Chilton has come on for Workington. Richard Smith picks up the pieces for Halifax.
Been a wonderful effort by this Workington defence. They've worked tirelessly. They've moved up on nearly every occasion in one line, working hard together. The sliding defence is good. Been a great effort.
Has indeed, and that was a great effort for that set of 6, because Halifax still in their own half when that kick was put forward. The wind got hold of that, and that hits the running track around this Derwent Park pitch. Gary Devorty with the hoof downfield. The breeze got underneath it, and that was that.
Well, I think this is one of those games that Halifax will look at and say, well, let's forget it. Let's get it out of our system.
Well, just think that Workington, they're missing the likes of James Pickering, Billy McGinty, their biggest summer signing from Wigan, and Martin Oglenby, the second division player of the year last season. But I tell you what, those 3 would have to play very well at the moment to get into this side.
On this performance, yes. Full credit there. There's a lot of pressure on this Australian Kyle White. Came in to prop forward. He's committed himself today. He really has worked hard. It's amazing. The first time he touched the ball, he made a mistake, but from there on in, he's worked very hard and done everything right.
Mulligan steps inside Parker, hoists a high kick, that is caught in the breeze the other way and blows back. And Lay gets a header in almost. It's play on. Mackenzie gives it some air. That was Pape into the arms of Drummond. Now, does he Drummond special? No, not this time. Pape at dummy half. And Phil Mackenzie is flat out in back play as Burns drives that ball in again. 2.5 minutes left for play here at Derwent Park. Marwood finds Schubert.
Swinging arm from Gary Divorti over the top.
Mulligan to Ellis. Ellis takes the tackle. They're still 10 metres short of the line. There's Mulligan again. And they've got the ball away, and it's Paul Burns. Burns with the 4 points, and that really will seal it. And they're chanting easy, easy round Derwent Park. Well, it hasn't been that, but it has been a very, very convincing show.
Well, it all came about from the high kick. You'll see that the loose forward, Gary Divorti, definitely gets a touch to it. It's only the full-back, Steve Lay. Mackenzie got the ball out wide. Eventually Drummond had a run, and from that play the ball. Little switch outside, back on the inside. Paul Burns gleefully accepts it. Beautiful play. Full-back chime through. Good work by the winger. And Paul Burns really does add the icing on what has been a tremendous cake tonight.
Paul Burns got the first of Workington's tries in the big league against Leeds in August. He's got the last one here tonight. Or will it be the last one? Marwood, his most difficult kick of the evening so far. Gives it a chance. Just caught the breeze and was pulled away from the post. 36-10, it's their best win of the season.
Beautiful play by Pape, the winger, back on the inside, and the centre gleefully accepts it. Sliding defence just went to sleep there. Nothing that Parker could do about it. They've been well and truly beaten. Burns in for the 4.
Well, listen to them now at Derwent Park. They haven't known a night like this all year. Or as the year's only 13 days old, perhaps I should say all season. They have enjoyed every moment of this. And I tell you, as we've made our way from studio to gantry during this evening's match, they've told us so also. White with the ball out wide. Kevin Pape is tackled by Richard Smith. Drummond is the dummy half. Workington have still not done. Marwood, Armstrong. Marwood keeps the movement going again. We're in stoppage time now. And the biggest cheer of the night will be when we get the final siren. Schubert made a meal of it. To knock on. There's the siren. And there is the biggest cheer of the night. Kevin Ellis shakes hands with Michael Jackson. The youngsters stream on the pitch. They shouldn't really do that. But this has been a comprehensive display by Workington. Halifax trudge off. They're not too happy about it, but they are delighted here in Workington. That's why we've got a mini pitch invasion. They should stay the other side of the barrier, but the youngsters' exuberance is there for all to see tonight. And autographs, photographs, that's what it's all about. And this is a hometown club, and they love it when they win. They won more than they lost last year, but I'm sure that they have got a very happy coach tonight, Peter Walsh, after this victory, only their 4th of the season, and he's with Bill.
Glazed expression on your face, Peter, as though you can hardly believe it.
Well, I think it's been coming for a long time. You know, the boys had to believe in themselves, and you know, straight after half-time, we wanted to be very miserable with the ball, and we completed 12 sets of 6 in a row. But, you know, this has been coming for a while, and I'm sure, you know, the players got stuck in for 80 minutes, and, you know, they deserve what they got today.
So a lot of people elsewhere might be surprised, but you're not?
Not really, OK. After the event, obviously, you know, you say, oh, it looked easy, but, you know, our players performed well in the first half. Twice in that first half, they had 18 sets of 6 consecutively, so that's 30 36 tackles that we had to defend on our own line, and I wasn't sure how much it would burn up on fuel, but, you know, our players come back and responded in the last 10 minutes, which is tremendous.
This could be really the turning point for your season, couldn't it?
Well, it can only help. We're due for a fair bit of luck, and luck didn't play any part in it today, and we performed very well, and all credit to the players, and I'm very happy for them because, you know, they worked hard and they got their just desserts.
You've got 3 tough games coming up now, Widnes, Salford and Hull.
Oh, without a doubt, you know, to get 2 points out of today, as you say, you know, people wouldn't expect us to get the 2, but we've got it, so the boys can let their hair down tonight. Then back at Sunday morning, we're training here at 12 o'clock on Sunday again, preparing for the Widnes game, so we'll see what happens.
Thanks, Peter.
Cheers, Bill.
Peter was delighted. Vince Fawcett is posing for photographs with anybody who wants one. And the tannoy system here tonight is playing The Boys Are Back in Town. And indeed they are. Workington Town are back. This could be the night when their season turns on its head. Their best win of the season, thoroughly deserved as well. Workington Town 36, Halifax. Night of the season up here in Cumbria for Workington Town. 36 points to 10, 6 tries to 2. A great victory for them, and one of the scorers, Kevin Ellis, is talking now live to Bill Arthur.
2 tries for Kevin Ellis in what really has been an astonishing night for Workington Town.
That's right, yeah. It was always going to come, but tonight, you know, it was a dream come true, and you know, we went through a game plan this afternoon, and you know, it come off.
Early on, I think nerves were visible. I mean, just by the way that Halifax scored their try.
Oh, definitely. You know, we played with the wind, and you know, we didn't have a good kicking game. And fair play to Halifax. You know, they turned their pressure into points.
But once you'd got your game plan going, it seemed to be plain sailing from then.
That's right. Fair play to the forwards. You know, in that heavy going, they made all the yardage, and then you know, the half-backs and centres just supported them up the middle.
Can you believe the scale of this victory?
Not really. It hasn't sunk in yet. I'll go in the change room now and reflect on it tonight.
But it could really transform your season now. I think it lifts you off the bottom of the table. It's really carrying on from here, isn't it?
Oh, definitely so. You know, as I said earlier in the interview, that you know, we've been playing well, but we haven't been getting the points. And you know, tonight it all come through, and hopefully we'll take it through.
Because you've got 3 tough games coming up against other struggling sides. So this is a great way to prepare for that.
Oh, definitely. You know, we needed 2 points tonight, and you know, it was a great win, and we got them.
Finally, just changing the subject a bit, new Welsh qualification rules, the games coming up against England and France. You find you've now got new teammates like Richie Ayres and Kelvin Skerritt, Martin Hall, Neil Cowan, people like that. What do you make of this?
I think it's great. You know, if they got Welsh grandparents, there's other countries doing it, so you know, why not Wales?
What about if it's people who've been on holiday to Wales?
I don't think that'll count. But you know, come February the 1st, I think it'll be a different Welsh team.
Thanks very much, Kevin. Well done.
Pleasure. And hello, Bridgend.
Hello to you, Bridgend, as well. And I tell you what, he'd be quite happy that new Welshmen come in, so long as they don't play at standoff half, I fancy, or in the hooking role, or wherever he's picked to play by Clive Griffiths. Team tackling in this match, and Halifax 159 to Workington's 141. Don't the players of both sides work hard for their money in the big league? 14 scrums, 19 penalties, 17 handling errors. And looking at the statistics for the possession, well, Halifax had the better of things in the first half, but overwhelmingly it was Workington's match in the second half. And I'm sure a delighted Colin Armstrong, 150 appearances for this club tonight, and I'm sure that he now is delighted to talk to Bill.
Colin, your 150th appearance, I think. What a way to mark it.
Oh, yeah, well, I didn't realise it was my 150th, but I mean, we knew we had a job to do when we went out there. We went out and we trained hard all week, and we just knew we had to go out and win. We couldn't afford to lose 2 points and slip further back down the table. So, I mean, we just jumped up a couple of spots, hopefully, and just keep moving up the league now.
When you got off to a shaky start, though. I mean, did you think, here we go again?
Well, no, not really, because they jagged a lucky try there. I mean, Mark Mulligan slipped as he chipped over, and it was just a lucky try, but we showed a lot of character and commitment to come back, and beat them by 30-odd points is a good achievement.
Has the scale of the victory surprised you?
Well, I suppose Halifax, well, on their standings of the league it has done, but I mean, we're capable of beating anybody when we play up to our standards, and especially in the second half we didn't turn a lot of ball over. We turned a few over in the first half, but we kept our stuff and ended up an easy victory.
I think this is one of the best performances in quite a while, even including the promotion season.
Oh yeah, I mean, for anybody to put 30 points on Halifax, you're bound to have played well. I mean, we got out and moved up quickly and tackled them hard, and as a result there was spilling the ball, and they had to play catch-up football for most of the game, and with their mistakes we just capitalised on them.
Thanks very much, well done.
Thanks, Bill. Cheers, mate.
Yes, a significant night, perhaps, for Workington, because they are off the bottom of the table. They're 2 places up the ladder now, and it's Hull and Featherstone who have it all to do. Hull with the game in hand, though, you might notice. But Widnes, I think that's the next match for Workington Town. Halifax, by the way, they stay 4th from the top.